Hey everyone, it's me, Tristan, on the Puzzle Masters channel, on Billy's channel, and yeah, just doing a little video here for um, kind of in response to a video I did yesterday. You may have seen it, and if not, it's the upload immediately before this one, so um, shouldn't be too hard to find. It's called Michael Tsarion, Tristan reading, and it's just Michael Tsarion, a Tristan reading, which is an excerpt from one of Michael Tsarion's books, where it was actually something that Billy had found online, and it was ended up being a lot more lengthy than either of us imagined. The video ended up being about 46 minutes long, but lots of information. It was good, worth checking out, or certainly read some of his books. But yeah. So then today I was at work, and Billy sent me a text. Well, we were talking about other things, and then his mom, and then we segued into said that I got a rather interesting comment on that video, and he sent an even more interesting reply. So anyway, first of all, the comment, I guess this is sort of a response to the comment. I'm not gonna read the comment, but you can look it up yourself. It's on that video on the Puzzle Master YouTube channel, in case you're seeing this from somewhere else. But anyway, it's from a user called the Peasant King. And he, let's see, first laughed his ass off, which is nice, always laughter's a good thing. Calls me, I guess, or Billy, I don't know, a gullible cult member, and goes on to say that there's no such person as Michael Tsarion. So, and then, his real name's something else, and yada yada. So anyway, even if his real name is something else, which it might very well be. I mean, a lot of people use pen names, or if it is an alias, it's something that he's used consistently for years, so it's not really like he's trying to hide his identity or anything. So I think that checks out from him. But yeah, so he's okay. So apparently Michael Tsarion, or Brian Heatley as his real name. I don't know or even really care what it says on his birth certificate, but he likes to go by the name Michael Tsarion. So for this video, that's what I'll call him. Okay, so he comes from the womb of a Hindu mystic, Tantra slut, who wrote the Little Book of Miracles. Now, perhaps that's a little something I should have researched before I did this video, but let's do it now, shall we? What's the Little Book of Miracles? Little Book of Miracles. Answered prayers. Oh, it's on Barnes and Noble. It's on Amazon.ca. Here we go. Let's see. It was written by someone named Hebe Taylor, or Hebe Taylor. Quotations from A Course in Miracles. I don't know if doesn't really seem that that's a very Hindu book. Maybe there's another Little Book of Miracles. Seems like that would be a fairly common name. Let's try smashwords.com. Oh, this is different. Dr. Saul Shea. Judging by the cover art, I'd say that looks a bit more Hindu, but regardless, okay, so perhaps so he came from the womb, so that means that his mother was a Hindu mystic who wrote that book. Okay, fair enough. I don't see what that has to do with him, but but good. Okay, just like Jordan Maxwell's real name is Russell Pine. I've never heard of Jordan Maxwell or Russell Pine, but, oh, Google again. Let's see. Let's look up Jordan Maxwell and see who Jordan Maxwell is. Oh, there it is. Jordan Maxwell. Jordan Rusty Maxwell. The Jordan Maxwell Show. Oh, I've heard of this guy. Or I've seen this guy. The Master of Astrotheology. Okay, so apparently there's some common theme about, so Jordan Maxwell, some convicted criminal or something like that. Michael Tsarion, I don't know what his criminal history is, but if it's anything bad, that's basically what he's writing about, what this book's about, is philosophy. Like, he quotes philosophers, lengthy quotes too, and adds in his own commentary, every once in a while, or he'll write a couple of paragraphs, but probably more than half the book is quotations, and his presentations too, they're mostly quotations. So it's sort of other people's philosophical work, which he then puts his own spin onto. I know that Michael Tsarion does make some claims, which would be controversial, but the video from yesterday and what I read wasn't that. So it was just sort of subjective philosophy, a matter of opinion. So if you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that's up to you, but it's not really something that can be false. It's just in the eye of the reader, or the listener in my case. So, okay, so yeah, maybe he was, maybe his mother was a slut. That's entirely possible, as the Peasant King claims, but I don't really think that's relevant. Even if she was, then yeah, that doesn't really detract from what he has to say. His philosophical reasoning for things is sound. I know that in some of his other work, so like not what I was reading yesterday, he does talk about history, things that go, that a lot of people would vehemently disagree with, but specifically in what I was talking about yesterday, I don't think that that would fall into that category. Okay, so I need to grow up and be my own man instead of another stupid follower who worships others. I was just reading. Like, I read books from a lot of people. That doesn't mean that I worship them or that I follow them, or that I think to be able to think for yourself, you have to be able to know what other people are doing and thinking and feeling, and so let's see, especially con jobs from California talk radio shows. So maybe he had a talk radio show in California. That's, or that's probably a reference to that other guy, Jordan Maxwell. He looked like, I saw a couple of the pictures on Google. He had he's like in a radio studio. Okay, so that's just a reference to, that's not even talking about that. So yeah, nothing really exciting or unusual about that comment. Billy's received dozens of them just like that. It's probably a copy and paste thing, but or maybe it was, maybe not. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but so anyway, then Billy wrote back, and he said, asked for the Peasant King to stop. All this information can be researched separately, which, yeah, anything can be. I've already researched a couple things separately in this video. And then he talks about Humpty Dumpty, and, if it wasn't the real Humpty Dumpty having a great fall, or if Zodiac's real name is Pippi and she was convicted of selling a fake stocking, it wouldn't really change who they are or what they're saying. So basically that it's irrelevant, but just to have some more fun, let's see Does the Peasant King have any videos? Oh, he does. It's the Trailer Park Boys. How about that? Merry Shipmas. It's Mr. Leahy. Well, that's brings back. It's probably been about 10 years since I've seen any Trailer Park Boys stuff, but it's has its moments, I suppose. And then what else? Okay, so he has a news clip from Russia Today, evil eye of someone from the new Hobbit movie, then a little... Oh, Alex Jones, his InfoWars show, where he apparently bashes Michael Tsarion. Now, where's the volume thing? I don't want to be, accused of copyright violations or anything. Okay. Oh, no, not Michael Tsarion. That's Michael Brown. That's someone else. Happens to have the same first name, but I guess Michael's a pretty common first name. So yeah. And anyway, Michael Tsarion with his books. I wish that they're very hard to come by. You can get I noticed that on Amazon you could get ebooks for a Kindle, but I'd kind of rather have a paper book. That's more, you can find enough of Michael Tsarion stuff online already if I wanted to read off a computer screen, but apparently he's published several. I think I did a little bit of research earlier into finding out what sorts of things he was try to find some of those books, but he doesn't seem to. But yeah, they're pretty hard to find. And Billy and I, we go to used bookstores a lot. Like when we're traveling, we go to different used bookstores, and we always look for sort of, I guess, alternative. I don't know what a way to describe that is, but astrology et al. Things sort of in that genre, and we've come across a lot over the years, but never anything by Michael Tsarion, and certainly the bigger bookstores don't have any. I mean, even though Chapters, for example, has a huge, a surprisingly big section, I guess, on New Age, I guess they call it, which would include astrology and tarot and methods of thinking that don't really fall into Western or Eastern traditional philosophies. But even with all their, even though they have a lot of similar people, I've never seen Michael Tsarion specifically. So I've yet to find that. I mean, who knows? Maybe that goes to the fact that he's, a big fraud and he never did publish these books, but if they're available on ebook, they probably do exist. And if there's such a long excerpt, from his book that takes 46 minutes to read, then it's probably not someone going through the trouble of making up that excerpt, because you might as well go through the trouble to write the whole book if you're gonna write that much of it. So that's would be like a chapter of any other book, of any normal book, But yeah, so anyway, what else? What else is there to talk about? Oh, it looks like it's time for me to go pick up Billy from work, so I'm gonna head out to do that so that he's not waiting for me out in the rain. It's raining today, even though it's December 16th. So yes, have fun, enjoy my. Hope you enjoyed my ramblings about nothing, really, just killing time, and yeah, see ya next time. Bye bye.